Hello and welcome to the Codec Moments podcast. This is the Codec Momentum update for July. Got my head round the fact that we're in August.
Yeah, time's flying.
Goodness,
you picked the right month. That's okay.
Yeah. We're here. We're here to give an update for what you've been up to in July. How's it been? Did anybody submit any games? Anything? Play anything? Good Codec Momentum month, was it?
No, tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Not from the team.
Too busy controlling the community, but that's a topic for later on, I think.
No, July. I think we might have had a conversation during June's update that we knew it was a busy month. And yeah, I didn't get anything submitted at all. I finished 4 games in July and I platinumed 1, but just none of them were Codec Momentum eligible.
I played a lot of New Dawn. I'm not going to lie. But I'd only bought it in June, so it's not even eligible.
Alex, did you get through anything?
Yeah, but kind of. Well, I went to play Grid, which isn't even out yet, so I can't submit anything from that. I managed to go up to have hands-on experience with that at Codemasters at the start of July. Midway through July, I went to it was with Turn 10, but it was Playground Games at Leamington Spa to talk about games. That's all I can say because I've got NDA to hell. Sign my life away.
Is that where they took your shirt?
Yeah, I know. It's hot, man.
It's hot. You just sat naked in your chair.
I'm not naked. I'm just topless. Jesus.
Well,
you can't see anything. You can only see my shoulders anyway.
Whatever you do, don't stand up to prove it, please. I don't want that bluff to get caught. Right.
The angle's not wide enough. Other than that,
you mean the zoom isn't long enough?
I've played a few bits and bobs, so I don't know if you signed up to this, Andy, or not. But on the Xbox, you can do the Xbox rewards. So it's an app that loads up. Well, you load it up whenever you want, but you can do various tasks throughout the month. You get points for completing these tasks, and then you can redeem those points for either Xbox Live Gold or money off vouchers or like kind of credit, Skype calls, things like that. You can even donate it to charity if you want. So it's good and bad for your backlog, but it makes you, if you want to do them, play lots of different games, and a lot of them obviously season pass games and things like that, and you have to either get 1 or 2 achievements or different things like that and play some of the indie games and stuff. So at the start of a month, I tend to play a lot of things. Sometimes it's just to get an achievement and I'm not that fussed. So I've been playing a little bit of Life is Strange. I've done a few chapters on that.
Good. Yeah.
A lot of people have said how good it is, and I've been meaning to play it for a while. I think I've actually had it for quite a while. It's on the Game Pass, but I think it must have been gold at some point, or I brought it when it was on a like a Black Friday sale or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I bought that then. But yeah, so I've been playing that and just a bit of everything. Hitman, Formula 1, just spraying and praying when I get time, really.
Oh, fair enough. That reward scheme sounds like quite a nice idea. They did do one on the PlayStation, but they only made it available to the US. It never made it outside there. And I don't know if it got wound up the other year. But it was the same kind of idea, linked to your trophy progression and you earned points and you could redeem them. It
also kind of makes you go and have a look at games in the store. So you just click it, go on it, you get 5 points. And there's also on the website, so via doing things through Bing, you can also generate other points. So I had close to 20,000 points. So it said they were running out. So I managed to bag myself a £10 voucher that's just sat in my account at the minute, which is
nice.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
I think it's a nice idea. It turns the achievement and trophy hunting into a tangible thing.
Yeah.
It almost, to a degree, makes it feel worthwhile rather than just the arbitrary, pointless thing that it really is.
Yeah. It's just a bit annoying when they put something like Batman Arkham Knight on, and I've not nowhere near kind of 100% of all the achievements, but I've got all the easy ones.
I've got all the ones I'm going to do.
Yeah. So to be fair, I have gone back and done a few of the AR things, but that's this month, not July.
No, fair enough. No, I whipped through a few games, but they were all review copies and reviews that we're putting out there. if anybody's looking for something a bit weird and quirky to play, The Padre is one that's worth looking at. It's like a Minecraft survival horror set in an isometric room-based mansion. It's a bit of a homage to all survival horror games. It's really nicely done, actually. Confusing as hell with some of the puzzles. It really does make you think, what am I doing? But yeah, good for it. Quite recommend that. That's it.
That's it.
I could tell you about the others, but go read them on the website.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about what we've not submitted for Codec Momentum.
Yeah.
So what are the highlights from this month then?
Highlights from this month. Well, I'd a couple. First one, Welsh Benno's back. Round of applause.
Way.
Cheer.
Woo.
Yeah, he's back in after not joining any other month this year, actually. So it's his first one, and he did Metro Exodus, which was, a great game to start with. Shame he didn't save it for August.
I know, right?
But yeah, no, nice work. Basement Shacks. I updated his name on the leaderboard. That's a highlight of the month. I actually did some admin. Kevney is not well. There's something wrong with him. 5 months running, he's completed a game.
What?
I thought he'd stop playing completely. I thought he'd run out of Lego games to do. So yeah, it's well done. Very, very good effort to keep plugging away, because we know he's struggled a bit with his passion for it for quite a while. And then surprisingly, only one double up this month, and that's really because Colm let Justin down, because they did both pledge a double up with Black Ops 3, but Colm didn't do it. So Justin's missed out on his bonus point. They were the main things. There's another one on the list.
Do you want to break that down?
Well, I think mid-month. Was it mid-month?
Yeah.
Or even a little bit earlier. Some toys were thrown out of a pram in spectacular style. They went some distance. All the way onto Twitter. How do we tackle it, boys?
Look, okay, here's the thing, all right? We do this for fun, right? We do this for a laugh, to try and encourage a bit of community. We're not that invested in it, if I'm honest, okay? So if you have a question, if you have a query, if you think, our application of the rules isn't right, isn't just, then, subtly mention it to us, okay? We're fair people. We'll look at it. We'll review it. I think in the case that we're talking about, we actually put it to the Discord channel that anyone can come and join. And the community decided on the outcome of this particular event. And I'm not going to go into huge amounts of detail about it, because I don't want to open up old wounds. But
no, it's fair to say the community also voted positively.
I know, I was going to say
it wasn't a negative response.
So with all that in mind and that said, right, if you're still not happy after all of that, then just don't join in. Simple as that. Don't make a huge thing out of it on social media, because quite frankly, we don't care that much. Right? And there was a lot of back and forth, none of it with us. Right? And I love that the community is invested in this, but this is not what we wanted. This is not the kind of community response or the kind of community that we wanted to build around it. So we do this for fun, and we want everybody else to do this for fun. And if and this is what I said on Twitter, if giving away money, a voucher, to try and encourage people just to play through games they've got on their backlog is genuinely this contentious, we will just stop, because we don't care enough for all that nonsense. Okay? So, and that's it. And that is all I'm going to say on the matter. But don't turn this into something it's not. All right? And that's it.
Oh, you went into proper dad mode then.
Yeah, well, that's exactly, and I did. To be fair, this is all dealt with.
Even I felt bad. I feel like I'm being told off.
That is it. But I'll be honest. I was sat on the sidelines, not really paying a huge amount of attention to what was going on, until the point at which I did go full dad on everybody involved.
So, and I think that's a fair point as well. That it was on social media. It didn't sit and align with what we want this to be. I mean, it wasn't right for the community either. And we do notice a lot of people actually did sit out of it as well. But then I think between the three of us, we were getting multiple DMs, private messages, other things that they weren't wrong. It was nice to hear what people were feeling, but at the same time, it was stuff that we didn't need necessarily direct, and people shouldn't have had to have vented in that way. And I think the amount of it that was going on behind the scenes was ultimately why we're saying something now and why Andy had to step in.
Right. So, look, here's the thing. My background's in chemistry. One of the first things they teach you, don't throw fuel on a fire. Okay? Nice and simple. Just starve it of oxygen. And that's the approach that we want to take. If people get silly about this, we're not invested enough to have a big fight about it. We're just, if it gets silly, if it gets contentious, if it becomes a problem, we just won't do it. All right? And that's it.
Yeah.
So, there you go. I don't know how much of this will make the edit. I'm not...
Well, I think am I editing this, so I think probably all of it.
Okay. I don't want to be unreasonable, and I don't want people to think I'm being unreasonable. But we're not saying this because we're annoyed. We're not saying this because we're upset. We're saying this because we don't want the stress.
Yeah.
There's that, and there's also a bit of a piece that it's fair to say we're all grown ups. I hope we're all grown ups. I think we are. But there's a definite perception of how gamers react and the way they handle themselves and are seen in social media and in the media, particularly with, if you've seen news articles over the last week, the 2-man dev team who have aligned themselves with Epic and the abuse they've been getting. And what we began to see was pretty much, it's not that level. I would no way saying that, but actually it doesn't help the image, really. And we'd like to just, we're not like that. And we know you guys are not like that. And we like a bit of banter. We'd like a bit of playful back and forth. It went just too far in this instance.
Yeah.
I think that draws a line under it.
I'll draw a line under it.
Yeah.
Move on. Okay.
Right. So everybody off the naughty step.
So we're still listening and onto the leaderboard.
Okay, so at the bottom of the table is in joint 19th position, Lucien Dien, the artist formerly known as Kelly.
Ho!
Thank you. And Welsh Benno in his triumphant return with Metro 2036.
Exodus.
I
love that was such a subtle gag that only Ali knows.
Shh.
Oh,
there's some stuff that's meant to remain on the cutting floor.
that should have been in the clip show in the last episode. Still at 18, we've got KSO's 13.
And at 17th is S. Barnett 82.
Your old mate, Stuart Bennett.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tumbleweed.
In at 16, it's Ali, our Cornwall.
Yeah. Not done anything yet.
And only 2 points in front of him, in 15th, unbelievably, it's Kishnabe.
Oh, I'll tell you what, shall I make it a goal to try and just beat him this month? Or this year? Even?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Yeah. In 13th place is Square Freak, level pegging with Kevney.
Okay, and in 12th position, it's Afro Gear.
And 11th, Tainted Shirt with 19 points.
And in 10th is our very own Codec Moments, Matthew, with 20 points.
I'm lagging a bit behind now.
Yeah, and then just ahead of Codec Moments, this is...
Yeah,
this
talk
is
about yourself in
amazing.
the third person. You like The Rock?
Yeah. Can you smell what I'm cooking? It's me at number 9.
And in 8th, we've got at Solemn67.
In number 7th is Drunk Rogue 68. Doing very well for saying he only joined last month.
Yeah, doing remarkably well, isn't he, there?
Yeah.
Top 10 already.
Okay, with 6 points this month, Vita Van 9 joins Anya 6 in joint 5th place.
And in 4th, it's the still impressive Basement Shacks, the artist formerly known as Damocles 693.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yes, it's Mark.
Oh, I didn't realise. Sorry. I was going to ask earlier, and I thought, I bet it's someone really obvious, but I should know.
Oh, I thought you were joking then as well.
But I should realise.
In 3rd is VDJOMB.
In 2nd place, it's a fantastic return to form this year, isn't it? Fury AC3.
Well, that means it's been a change at the top, pipping him by 1 point this month. Saintly Stewart, 88 points and back at the top of the board. So that's the leaderboard, 20 places, some great moves in there, some non-movers. Come on, you non-movers, get some games submitted. Take part in Apocalyptic August and get some bonus points. But we can only have one winner for July. So who's got the hat of scraps?
Yeah, I've got... Oh, you're doing it. I was going to use the duncer's hat that I've been wearing for the whole episode.
I'll do them.
Yeah, go on. I thought you were wearing it on your head.
I can't believe we've miscommunicated and both doubled up on preparing to draw out.
Oh, you're spoiling the magic.
You said that very camp, Matt.
I went slightly Brian, I think.
That's the way to do it.
And the winner this month is VitaFan9 with Devious Dungeon, and it was a finisher as well.
Oh, wow.
Well done.
Oh, good work.
Bonus £20 gaming voucher to you, fella. We will be in touch on Twitter to get you your prize.
Hey, Matt, how's Stuart's Appalachian Trail progress going?
Well, Andy, it's not going well.
Is it because of his wee pedometer?
Every time I read that spelled out, that's what I think. Yes, Stuart's pedometer is broken. I think we really need to clarify, don't we? Stu's pedometer.
It's got a wee pedometer. I'm crying.
Okay, yeah, most of that's getting left in.
I'm actually crying.
Yeah, we've broken Andy.
Yeah. So, it's the thing that came with the Wii game is broken, and it's actually told him he's walked 852 kilometers in the last month. He knows full well he's not done that. He tells me he's not been strapping it to the cat, he's not attached it to the kids, and he definitely swears he hasn't been with it on. I'm not sure I believe that. But yeah, it's the idea behind the challenge is great, but I think it's kind of, because it's drifting so much, it's really difficult to work out what we're going to do with this and what his actual distance is. Now, I think he has a separate step counter that he's been using for when he's been running and everything else. So we might have another way of figuring out distance, but we need to sort that out with him, and we need to work out between ourselves what we do around this.
So, hold on, yeah, because if he's done like 852 kilometres, does that mean technically in the game he's finished it now?
He's not far off. Yeah, he's like 300 kilometres away. He's nearly at the end.
Has he done that by the time this goes out? Probably at this rate of his wee pedometer.
He'll just do it while he's asleep in bed with the way he's going.
Steady.
So, yeah, we need to have a think about what we're going to do, how we're going to manage it, and we'll update next month. We'll have a chat with Stu and see what we can figure out.
Cool.
Excellent. Anything else?
Apocalyptic August.
We've already mentioned that one, haven't we? To repeat it again.
Just a reminder.
Worth just clarifying for anyone who didn't hear the last episode and only heard us reference it briefly. Does anyone want to go into details as to what counts as apocalyptic and what counts as dystopian in our view?
I think Ali's got a really good list of what apocalyptic games there might be to play.
Yeah, I did in the other show notes.
It's probably worth saying, if you're not sure, check with us, but basically Judge Rules is final.
Yes.
We're open for discussion and sensible things, but once again, we're going back to our general point of we're only doing this for fun, so don't mither us over it.
The answer's most likely to be no if you do that.
Yeah, so like I say, we're talking games, Fallout, Metro Exodus, things where something's happened in the world that's then taken it for a turn for the worst, as opposed to a turn for the better. Robots haven't taken over and all that kind of stuff. It's more, nuclear warfare has changed the face of the earth. I know Stu was asking me about Terminator games, and depending on where that Terminator game is based, technically.
Yeah, I'm kind of down with that in a way.
Because I think Salvation.
This is what I said to him.
Salvation is a post-apocalyptic
game,
game,
which is after the Skynet's taken over and all that.
Yeah, the war has happened. The Earth has been destroyed.
But if it's Arnold Schwarzenegger as Terminator in 1 or 2, where he's running around LA and stuff, then no, because that's someone that's been sent back from the future. And
it's post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah. If it doesn't involve a lot of dead bodies and a lot of barren land, then it's not.
Well, they might have tidied up a bit. I mean, that's reasonable.
Well, maybe, yeah.
So, rule of thumb, Fallout, Metro, they're kind of the obvious ones. Genuinely, if you're stuck and we're not around to ask, just check Wikipedia. If it says post-apocalyptic somewhere in the story description, it's probably all right, because that's where we're going to go to check it if we don't know it. If it doesn't say that in there, probably not all right.
And if you're playing Metro Exodus like I have been, just be careful of all the spiders, because it freaked me out somewhat.
You're not a spiders fan, are you?
No.
And you have to do a bit in the pitch black with spiders that can only be killed by light.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah, it's horrible, Andy.
It is
sounds
quite
like
freaky.
Nightmare fuel.
There was a bit where, because they're quite big, the little ones that crawl across at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Then bigger ones, and you're like, and you have to cleanse yourself.
Yeah, they are quite monstrous.
Yeah.
It's like you're shivering already.
Just as a little public service announcement to everybody, if there is a game you really want to complete for Apocalyptic August, then just go into Wikipedia, add post-apocalypse into the description, and then ask Matt about it.
Yeah.
If it says post-apocalypse, I'll know Andy's told you to do it. So. It won't be post-apocalyptic.
What do you mean Kirby isn't post-apocalyptic?
So join in. You've got until the end of the month to complete any game that fits the criteria, and there'll be 5 bonus points up for grabs for anyone that does that. We have had quite a few entries already. I'm going to say without fear now, if none of you make an effort, Basement Shacks is at the top of the table at the end of this month.
Nice.
And if you are going to commit a crime, make sure you don't relate it to video games. Just do us all a favour.
What? Slightly out of the blue there.
Well, just with all the shootings and that have been related back to games and banning any violent game and all that rubbish.
Wow, that went dark really quickly.
We're in a post-apocalyptic land.
I know we're not looking forward to Brexit, but I don't think it's that bad. Right. Yeah, I don't know where to take it from there. I think we should just end the podcast.
What, forever?
Ali, you've just done it in.
Yeah, we're gonna end the hosting tomorrow now.
Yeah. Codec Moments podcast is now post-apocalyptic. Right. Thanks very much, both of you. Thanks very much for listening, everyone. Yeah. Head to codecmoments.com and click the Codec Momentum links if you want to join in. And we will be back next month with the next update. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.